What is hell, and does it really exist? What is hell? A realm of fire and torment beneath the earth? A psychological metaphor for guilt and regret? Or just an ancient myth that refuses to die? For centuries, humans have been both fascinated and terrified by the concept of hell. In this video, we'll dive into what hell is said to be, explore whether it exists, and examine how different cultures, religions, and philosophies have shaped our view of the afterlife's darkest possibility. Grab a drink, settle in, and prepare to descend into one of humanity's oldest and most haunting mysteries. Chapter 1. The Origins of Hell. Long before the word hell existed, early humans imagined places of punishment in the afterlife. The idea may have emerged from our early understanding of justice: reward the good, punish the wicked. In ancient Egypt, the duat was the underworld. Souls were judged by the god Osiris and weighed against the feather of truth. If the soul was heavy with sin, it was devoured by a monstrous creature named Amit. In ancient Mesopotamia, the underworld, called Irkalla, was a gloomy, inescapable realm for all the dead, not just the evil. It wasn't so much a place of punishment, but a bleak and eternal waiting room. These were not yet hells in the modern sense, but they planted the seeds. Chapter 2. Hell in Major Religions. Christianity. The concept of hell in Christianity evolved over time. In the New Testament, Jesus refers to Gehenna, a trash dump outside Jerusalem where fires burned continuously. Over time, Gehenna became symbolic of divine punishment. Early Christians debated what hell really meant. Was it eternal fire and brimstone, or separation from God's love? By the Middle Ages, the image of hell as a fiery dungeon with demons and torture became widespread, thanks in part to writers like Dante Alighieri, whose Inferno described 9 horrific circles of hell. In Islam, hell is known as Jahannam. It's described in vivid detail in the Quran as a place of fire, boiling water, and torment for those who rejected God and committed evil. But even in Islam, hell is sometimes seen as temporary. For some, it's a place of purification rather than eternal damnation. In traditional Judaism, the afterlife is less emphasized. The concept of Sheol appears in the Hebrew Bible, an underworld where all the dead go, good or bad. Later Jewish thought introduced the idea of Gehenna, a temporary purgatory where souls are cleansed before ascending to heaven. Hinduism and Buddhism. These traditions don't have a hell in the Western sense, but they do have Naraka, a realm of suffering in the cycle of rebirth. Sins result in reincarnation into lower life forms or punishment in Naraka before rebirth. But crucially, Naraka is not eternal. You move on when your karmic debt is paid. Chapter 3. Philosophical Interpretations. Many philosophers have explored hell not as a physical place, but as a psychological or symbolic state. Plato described the soul's journey after death, suggesting that unjust souls suffer consequences, but his hells were more like moral purgatories. Friedrich Nietzsche dismissed hell entirely, seeing it as a tool of control by religious institutions to impose guilt and obedience. In existentialist thought, like that of Jean-Paul Sartre, hell is other people, a psychological torment of being seen and judged by others for eternity. For modern psychologists and secular thinkers, hell can be a metaphor for extreme guilt, regret, depression, or even societal failure. Chapter 4. Science and the Afterlife. Can science weigh in on the question of hell? Physically, there's no evidence of a fiery underworld beneath our feet. Geologically, the Earth's core is hot, but it's molten metal, not a spiritual prison. Neuroscience has also studied near-death experiences. Some people report hellish visions, darkness, fear, torment. Others report light, peace, and love. These experiences may be tied to brain chemistry in moments of trauma or clinical death. But they raise an intriguing question. Are we glimpsing something beyond, or just the firing of a dying brain? Chapter 5. Is hell just a tool of control? Throughout history, hell has often been used as a means of social control. Religious authorities warned of hell to discourage disobedience, immorality, or heresy. Rulers aligned with religious powers to justify wars and conquests, with hell as the consequence for resistance. But does that mean hell was invented purely for manipulation? Or could the idea reflect a deep, universal fear of moral reckoning, whether by God, karma, or conscience. Chapter 6. Modern views. Does hell exist today? In modern times, belief in hell varies wildly. Evangelical Christians often believe in a literal hell. Catholics have softened the fire and brimstone view in favor of spiritual separation. Progressive Christians and Universalists reject eternal punishment altogether. Many secular people see hell as outdated or symbolic. Some spiritual seekers embrace reincarnation instead of judgment. And for atheists, hell is simply a myth, no more real than Hades or Valhalla. But even among non-believers, the concept of hell can linger, shaped by childhood teachings, culture, or fear of the unknown. Chapter 7. Could we be in hell now? Here's a provocative idea. What if hell is not in the afterlife, but here and now? For victims of war, abuse, hunger, or oppression, life itself can feel like torment. Some philosophers and mystics argue that hell is a state of being, created by fear, hatred, or disconnection from truth. Maybe hell isn't a place we go to. Maybe it's a condition we create or escape from through awareness, compassion, and growth. Chapter 8. So, what is hell? In the end, hell is many things. A warning, a punishment, a myth, a metaphor, a spiritual reality, or a psychological shadow. Whether it exists in some other dimension or only in the mind depends on your beliefs. But one thing is certain. Hell has shaped human history, culture, and morality more than almost any other concept. We may never prove whether it exists, but the fear and the hope it opposes are very real. So, what do you think? Is hell a real place? A metaphor? A tool of control? Or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments what other deep, mysterious topics you'd like us to explore. Thank you for watching.